jobs that they had over there. 3,846 were lost. The Afghan National Military and Police Force had lost over 66,000 people. Those are the people we were training to keep that country in line. NATO forces that were part of our coalition to help fight and eliminate all the terrorists that were being harbored by that country, 1,144 were lost. Just in civilian population, Afghans caught in the crossfire, 47,200 plus. And aid workers, which we sometimes don't think about them, but aid workers come from America and all walks of life to just go to conflicted zones and help people. And they had lost 444. And journalists, 72 journalists were lost. So amongst the first casualties, as I said, were our first responders here in New York City, and then our military personnel, and of course, everyone on those flights as well. So we reflect on that cost of that day that continues with all the civilians that have been lost to illnesses. I myself suffered some medical setbacks because of 9/11, because unfortunately, as we just went through a pandemic and we were wearing masks and things like that, they didn't think to provide us with masks for a long time. Of course, sometimes when there were smoke areas, I'm sure the firefighters have their oxygen tanks and things like that. But other types of masks, when you're in the perimeter, they didn't think to provide them to us. So one gentleman had called, and I had a command center, and they would sometimes give me all the calls because I was sitting at a desk and giving direction to the highway patrol for escorts and things of that nature. And this man calls up and he says, I want to do something. What is it that you need? And I said, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know who you are. He goes, well, listen, I'm from Texas and I'm willing to send you whatever you need, whatever resources you need. And I'll never forget that, he just said, please dig deep and tell me what you need. And I said, well, we don't have any masks. It's a shame, but our Harley Davidsons are air cooled. They use an air filter. And they were breaking down within 24 to 48 hours. We had to hire additional Harley Davidson mechanics from Pennsylvania and other surrounding states to come in and evaluate and say, why are these motorcycles seizing and not working? And they said, it's simple. The air filters are clogged. They can't breathe. And then it struck me and I said, if they can't breathe, how can we breathe? So that's the amazing human, body that we have that fights through it, because of our resilience. And so at that point, I said to the man, we could use some masks. Within 24 hours, I don't know how he did it, how he pulled it off, we had $17,000 worth of the professional masks, the ones with the two filters that can just pretty much filter anything out. And I couldn't believe it that he spent his own money. And I looked at the bill and it said Amex, with probably like 4 digits at the end. And I said, so he uses American Express to pay for this without knowing who I was, without knowing who we were, not having any connection to New York. But he sent us the masks and we were so grateful for that moment, And many, many people stepped up, like that as well. So for me, those memories, they keep on pouring back. And I won't deny that overnight I had a lot of anxiety thinking about this moment, not about speaking to you, but specifically about 9/11, the 20th year anniversary. I had a lot of intrusive thoughts. I had a lot of thoughts of that day, things that you kind of forget, and then they just rush back because obviously you just change the channel and there it is. And, people send you texts. And so I'm going to practice what Captain O'Donnell said, maybe shutting my phone off or my social media off so that I won't get any clues on future anniversaries, because I was anxious and I really didn't sleep well. And I thank you for putting up with me, and super nervous addressing the Spruce Creek community and friends and family that have come here today to witness and support uh, Patriot Day. So today is Patriot Day, and we honor all those heroes that were lost, but also the civilians, all the patriots that united after 9/11 to make sure that this doesn't happen on American soil again. I want to say that civilians were amazing during 9/11. We used to take a route from the highway base to ground zero, and it connected us to the West Side Highway coming down by the Hudson River. And day in, day out, I couldn't believe how many civilians were on the West Side Highway with cheerful signs saying, "We love you, you are our heroes," saluting us, waving at us, offering us water as we were riding in with the motorcycles. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And they literally took over those streets and put signs covering where it said the West Side Highway. They put Heroes Highway. So somebody climbed up the pole and put Heroes Highways. And that was for all the first responders that were coming, firefighters, law enforcement, and others that would respond day in, day out to do their duty. And so that was a memory that I wanted to share with you because I thought that was very special and something that I don't know that we've seen again, but I'm sure that you all feel it the same way I do. That civilians, you're in it as much as we are in it, and we always appreciate your support. I think everyone knows, thank you. I think everyone knows by now that I am the director of security. And of course, this was my uniform that I wore, excuse me, in the NY